In a quiet mountain monastery, one young disciple living there. Young disciple had been practicing meditation for months, but he felt no closer to inner peace. His mind was filled with questions, doubts, and the noise of his own thoughts. Frustrated, he sought the wisdom of the monk. One day he approached the wise monk, Master Shen, with a troubled heart. "Master," young disciple said, bowing respectfully, "I meditate every day, but my mind is always restless. How can I find peace when my thoughts never stop?" Master Shen smiled gently and gestured for young disciple to follow him to the tea room. They sat down, and the monk began to pour tea into young disciple's cup. The cup quickly filled to the brim, yet Master Shen continued pouring, allowing the tea to spill over onto the table. "Master, the cup is overflowing," young disciple exclaimed, alarmed. The monk stopped pouring and looked at young disciple with a knowing gaze. "Your mind is like this cup," he said softly. "It is already full of thoughts, opinions, worries. How can I teach you anything, or how can peace enter, if your mind is already overflowing?" Young disciple stared at the cup, understanding dawning on him. "But how do I empty my mind, Master?" he asked. Master Shen pointed to the nearby garden. "Look at the trees. They do not hold on to every leaf that falls. They let go, allowing new growth. The same is true for the mind. Do not cling to every thought that enters. Let them come and go, like leaves in the wind." Young disciple nodded, but still, he was uncertain. "How do I let go, Master? It's not easy." The monk stood up and led young disciple outside, to a small pond. The surface of the water was calm, reflecting the sky and trees perfectly. "This pond is your mind when it is empty. When you are still, you can see things clearly. But when you stir the water..." Master Shen took a stick and swirled it in the pond, creating ripples that distorted the reflection. "This is your mind when you hold on to your thoughts. The more you cling to them, the more disturbed the water becomes." Young disciple stared at the ripples, his mind beginning to understand. "So, to find peace, I must let my thoughts settle, like the water?" "Yes," Master Shen said. "Do not fight your thoughts. Simply observe them, and let them pass. With time, your mind will become like the still pond, clear and calm." From that day on, the young disciple approached his meditation differently. Instead of battling his thoughts, he simply observed them, allowing them to come and go. Slowly, he learned to empty his mind, finding the peace and clarity he had sought for so long. And in that emptiness, he discovered the fullness of true wisdom. If we see in our own lives, we often find ourselves like the young disciple, constantly seeking peace while our minds overflow with thoughts, worries, and distractions. We try to force clarity or control the noise within, only to end up more restless. Just as the cup cannot be filled when it is already overflowing, we too cannot find peace until we make space for it. Life will always bring challenges, doubts, and uncertainties, but peace is not about the absence of thoughts or problems. It's about learning to let go of what we cannot control, to release the mental clutter that weighs us down. Just like the leaves falling from trees or the ripples in a pond, our thoughts and worries will come and go. The key is to observe them without attachment and allow them to pass. True peace, much like wisdom, is not something we chase or force into being. It comes when we learn to be still, to let go of resistance, and trust in the process of life. In this stillness, we can see things clearly, both in meditation and in our everyday experiences. As Master Shen taught the young disciple, it's not about silencing our thoughts but rather about not holding on to them. When we stop fighting the noise within and simply allow it to flow, we create space for peace, clarity, and wisdom. In that space, we realize that peace has been with us all along, we only needed to make room for it. So, as we go through life, Let us remind ourselves that it's okay to let go, to breathe, and to trust that everything will settle in time. In this letting go, we will find the calm we seek, and in that calm, the wisdom to navigate whatever comes our way.